Hello, everyone. My name is Joanne Rega, and I serve as a program trainer. And I'm recording this video on 14th August 2025. And it is mainly for participants who are going to engage in the Compassion Connect training, which is starting on the 18th of August 2025 and will run up to the 21st of August. So this video is going to be about the integrated program model for participants who are supported by Compassion. I encourage you to take a few minutes to listen and to internalize. If you have any questions, we'll be able to respond to them when you come for the physical training. So please allow me to share my screen as we start this off. So this is the integrated program model, and the main purpose of sharing this is that as we work on participants and manage their information, their data through Compassion Connect, we need to understand some of the stages and the life cycle events which are illustrated through the integrated program model. So what we have here, I would like to introduce you to the two main colors that you're seeing on screen. There's the green and then there's the blue, as you can see here. So that is really to represent the funding types, ways in which a participant is supported as they're on the program. So we have the green, which represents what you can call complementary interventions. We usually refer to it as CIVs, or lately we have started actually referring to them as targeted responses. Now, this is funding that comes to the project or to the participant to support needs that cannot be met by the regular supporter funds. Regularly, each FCP receives money per participant, which comes every month. And you also get an advice slip, or you see it in Compassion Connect. And this is what we call the support funds. So you hear us talk a lot about support funds or sponsorship funds. And then you hear us talk about CIVs or targeted responses or donor funds, something like that. So we have two categories of participants. We have what we call the survival participants, and then we also have sponsorship participants. This categorization is really about the age and also the way funding comes in for that program type. When a participant is registered on program, they will always have one number from the time they are registered to the time they leave. Whether they go and come back, they'll always have one number. And that is why you hear us speak about the one program. Some people refer to the integrated program model as the one program model. It's really just an illustration. So we have survival interventions. Survival interventions are funded by donor funds or by what we call complementary interventions. Survival interventions are not funded, are not usually funded by the support funds. But yes, some activities, because they belong to the FCP, they may benefit from some activities or some items which have been funded by sponsorship funds, because survival participants also belong to the project. So we usually discourage FCPs from differentiating these two issues. Survival participants are also part of all the other participants at the project, and they are entitled to benefit from anything that any other child would benefit from at the project. So there will not be a differentiation in shared resources or shared items. Both sponsorship and survival participants can use the same resources. The only difference between the two will really come in by how these program types are funded. So for projects for FCPs that have survival interventions, we usually register participants in the age group of 0 to 1. By 0, we mean you register a pregnant mother, a child who is not born. So you could register a pregnant mother. Usually we say register after the first trimester. And then we can also register a baby who is already born. But this registration has to meet the registration criteria and approved by the partnership facilitator. So in survival, we will have the participants be in survival until their first birthday. So you have pregnant mothers, children who are still in the age group of months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, until they reach their first birthday. On their first birthday, we transition them. The FCP transitions this participant to sponsorship program. So sponsorship begins at 1 year. So what this basically means is that the child, once is transitioned, and this transition happens in the system, you go to the system and you transition the child. Transition the child by updating the system. And we'll talk more about how to do the transition during the physical training. But we transition the child to sponsorship program. So we transition this child from survival, we transition him or her to sponsorship program, and the child is transitioned to a program delivery type, which we call sponsorship home-based program. This only means that the child will largely receive their programming activities, or the way they are supported by the project at home, and only occasionally come to the project for specific reasons. Why? Because they cannot move on their own, and we can't expect their caregivers to carry them to the project every week or regularly as with the center-based program with children. So the child will be in sponsorship home-based programming type, receiving their programming at home from up to about when they are 3 years old. We usually encourage that at 2, we start preparing this child for school, and in turn preparing this child to also cross over to what we call center-based programming. So the child can also transition from home-based programming to center-based programming. So this transition happens from between the age group of 3 to 5. We don't have a set standard and say that at 3, you must transition them to sponsorship center-based, because children are different. We gauge how ready they are. When we feel they are ready and they can be on their own at the project with minimal support, then we speak to the parents and we transition them. So even under sponsorship, we have categorized the participants into 3, as you can see: early childhood, which is from the age of 1 to 5. Then we have childhood, which is from the age of 5 to 12. And then we have the youth. So you hear us talk a lot about infants, children, and youth. So infants usually refer to the babies who are in survival. Then we have the children who are from age group around 1 to 5, 1 to 12. Then we have the youth from age group 12 and above until they leave the program. So as you can see up here, the big wave of complementary interventions throughout the program, throughout the life of the child in the project, or who is being supported by Compassion, they may need some other needs. They may have some other needs, or the FCP may have other needs which they need to meet to be able to support the participant, which are not met, which cannot be met by the supporter funds that come monthly. They could be supported by extra funding, which we call the complementary interventions, as I had already said. So I hope we have been able to grasp something. Please note down any questions about the integrated program model, and we will be able to respond to them when we meet physically for the physical Compassion Connect training. Thank you so much. God bless you.